Iga Swiatek and Emma Raducanu, both players crying this week on court. It's been an interesting last couple of days in tennis. The similarities between Iga and Emma, of course, Iga, a way better tennis player. However, Iga won the U.S. Open last year, and then Emma won the U.S. Open 2 years ago. So the last 2021 and 2020 U.S. Open champions with tears coming down their cheeks for two different reasons yesterday. They were both crying yesterday on court. Iga crying because she got respectfully demolished by Jessica Pegula in the United Cup in Australia. And then Emma Raducanu, playing in another tournament, had a high ankle sprain, and it's putting both players actually in doubt for the Australian Open. It's reported today by numerous outlets that Świątek has a shoulder injury, and she may not, her fitness, if you will, for the Australian Open is in doubt. And then Raducanu, I imagine she might pull out of the Australian Open, so we'll see what happens there. So in review, Emma Raducanu with the high ankle sprain, Iga Swiatek with the right shoulder injury, might be another strain there for her. Interesting. And so the last two U.S. Open champions are crying and injured. Also about the Australian Open, there are a lot of players in doubt for this tournament. Carlos Alcaraz on the men's side has pulled out of the tournament. That was huge news on the men's side in professional tennis. He will be out of the Australian Open. And Naomi Osaka is in doubt for this tournament. And also Venus Williams has pulled out, of course, Serena's sister. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shapes. If Iga, for some reason, can't play in the Australian Open, that would be, for all of our Iga fans, such as myself, that'd be really sad. But we'll see what happens. I think Świątek will get in there and give it her best shot. But Świątek basically saying in the press conference after the match yesterday that she just felt overwhelmed when playing Jessica Pegula and losing 6-2, 6-2. And here's the score here on the right of the screen of Emma pulling out against another player. So got both scores here, and they gave it their best shot and just couldn't make it happen. But I know what a lot of people are thinking about maybe the title of this video or why we're talking about Emma and Iga in the same video. Just two similarities. One, they both cried yesterday, bless their hearts. And then number two, they are both the last two U.S. Open champions. Isn't that kind of interesting that we all know that Świątek is so talented, so incredible of a player. And then Emma Raducanu, we haven't talked about this yet. She's got the high ankle sprain, which she blames pretty kind of in the tournament director's face a little bit, that the indoor courts in this tournament were way too slippery, and that's what caused her high ankle sprain, excuse me. And she has had so many injuries, guys, since winning the U.S. Open a couple years ago, including the most interesting one, I think, is that she gets blisters on her hands, nasty ones that bleed and sting when she's holding the grip on her racket. So it's been really tough on her. And frankly, I like Raducanu from Britain. She is just a wonderful, I think she's a wonderful person, but does get a lot of heat sometimes from Świątek fans. And they're not on the same level of playing tennis right now. I mean, Świątek is just unbelievable, and Raducanu is probably just unseated and nowhere where she was 2 years ago. But yeah, so I think a lot of players are watching this and with Świątek on, like, man, Świątek may not be 100% going to the Australian Open. That might open some doors for other players like Ons Jabeur, like, of course, Jessica Pegula, like Sabalenka, all these other players that would love this title. The Australian Open in the last 2, 3, 4, or 5 years has switched back and forth on winners, on who wins on the women's side. To be honest with you, I don't remember who won last year. So let me know in the comments. Who won the Australian Open last year? I don't have my phone on me. I'm here in the studio in Dallas, and can Google that after the video. But please put in the comments who won the Australian Open on the women's side last year. I do remember Kenin, Sophia Kenin, who I believe is American but was lived a lot in Russia, won it a couple years ago, and that was eye-opening. That was like a out-of-body moment for Kenin winning the Australian Open. But long story short, I mean, it's just going to be so exciting to see the Australian Open. We have another tournament for the women next week, and then after that, which, by the way, Świątek has pulled out of that tournament next week, and then after that comes the Australian Open. Just in about 10 or 12 days, the Australian Open will start, and it'll go, of course, for 2 weeks, and we'll see what happens. And here in the United States, it'll be on ESPN. Please tune in here to Best Muscle Video on YouTube right here to get some extra coverage, if you will. I love the comments from everyone on the last video. Wasn't the happiest of videos. The video is titled Iga Swiatek crying and defeated by Pegula, and there's over 80, 90 comments on that video, so thank you guys so much. But so Świątek, RADUCANU injured, and a lot of big star players in doubt. Who knows? Maybe this could open the door for Coco Gauff. We don't know. Gauff still hasn't gotten her first Grand Slam. Of course, Gauff is still a lot younger than Świątek. Can you believe that? I think Gauff is 18 or 19 years old, and Świątek will be turning 22 soon. She's 21 right now. So, Poland, I love you guys. There is a thanks button on the bottom right of the video player of this YouTube video. It's on your phone, it's on your computer. If you click on the word thanks right on the bottom right of the video player, you can send me money. If you can, I appreciate it so much. Right now it is around 7 or 8 p.m. Central here in Dallas, Texas. It's a Saturday, so thank goodness I'm not working today. I work Monday through Friday, and these are very long days. Usually when I'm sitting here it's midnight, but Saturday it feels good to actually be in a decent hour of the day. But anyone watching in Poland right now, I love you so much. A couple of you actually in the last video taught me how to say hello in Polish, and I'm sitting here right now thinking, gosh darn it, I have not written down that word and learned it yet, but I will, and I'll make a note to start my next video talking about that, or saying hello in Polish, because I want to learn some Polish with my raspy American accent. But if you made it this far in the video, I love you so much. I love everyone around the world, and peace to everyone, and I cannot wait for the Australian Open. If you guys have any thoughts on what I can do for my next video tomorrow, please let me know, and I will talk to you soon. God bless.